Hi everybody, welcome back to Miss Nick's Tiger Math Lab. We are here today to keep practicing and preparing for our very first unit assessment here in 4th grade. And our first unit assessment is coming up this, when is it? Friday, and it is on place value. So your unit assessment will include rounding, comparing numbers to tell which one is bigger or smaller, and writing your numbers in multiple ways. So today we're going to focus on how to write your numbers in multiple ways, because this is the tricky part that has a lot of little details in it that are easy to make mistakes on. So please pay close attention as we review the 3 ways that we can write a number for our math lessons. So when we are talking about the 3 ways to write a number, there is the very first way, which is the way that we're most used to seeing. It's called base 10 numerals. Base 10 numerals are another fancy way of saying the regular way we're used to writing our numbers. So our first way to write a number is base 10 numerals. I am going to start with our class's lucky number, and we are going to write out 34,567. So that is my base 10 numeral form for this number. Now, if my next question were to ask me to write that number in a different way, it might want me to use one of the other 3 ways to write it. So we've got base 10 numerals. That's number 1. Now, the second way we could write it is something called expanded form. That's when we're going to stretch it out based on the value of each place value. So expanded form. Now, for our expanded form, there's a trick for this, and we are going to use that trick today. First, we're going to write our number, 34,567. Now, when you're trying to figure out your expanded form, you're going to work one place value at a time, starting at the left. So, first things first, I'm going to start all the way to the left, and this is what place value, class? What place value will I be starting with? Who can raise their hand and tell me?
10,000.
The 10,000s place, very good. So I'm starting with the 10,000s place, so I keep my 3, and I replace everything that comes after it with a 0. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. I'm going to do the same thing for every number in my big number. So next I bring down the digit 4 and replace everything after it with a 0. Then I bring down the 5 and replace everything after it with a 0. Catch it? 6. And lastly, the 7. Now, if I were to add these all up, it would bring me back to my original base 10 numeral. So I know I did it the right way, but they asked for my answer in expanded form. So now that I've split it all up based on the place values, I write my answer like this. 30,000 plus 4,000 plus 500 plus 60 plus 7. And that would be my final answer. Now, if you want to make sure you got it right, you can always double check your work by counting your zeros. So pick any number in your big number. I'm going to pick my 5. How many digits come after it? Well, in this case, I have 2 digits that come after it. So in my expanded form, I should have a space where I have a 5 and 2 digits after it. That's how I write my answers in expanded form. Now, the last way that we can write a number, the third and final way, is called our number names. And this, we are more used to saying, but not as used to writing it. So, again, we have a trick to help us with that as well. When we are using our number names, our comma, the comma that separates each period of numbers, is our best friend. So if we are looking to write 34,567 in number names, we're going to start with everything that comes before the comma. So everything that comes before the comma is 34. So that's what I'm going to start by writing. I'm just going to write the words 34. Then I see that I've reached my comma. What does the comma translate to in math language, class? Who can raise their hand? The word thousands. This comma that separates my ones, tens, hundreds from my 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s means the word thousand. When I see it, that's when I say the word thousand. So 34,000. So the next word I'm going to write is the word thousand. 34,000. Then I read everything that comes after the comma. In this case, it's 567. How would I read that number if that was the only number I was working with? Who can tell me how I would read 567 as my number?
567.
567, so that's the last part of my number names. 34,567. So now we have written our number, 34,567, in our three ways. Base 10 numerals, expanded form, and word form. Now, there's one more thing that we want to practice before our quiz on Friday. And that is, what if they give us our expanded form, but then ask us to put it into base 10 numeral form? How do we do that? Well, let's practice. Let's say I gave you this number. And I said, now write your answer in base 10 numerals for me. Well, looking at this, you might be able to kind of figure it out, but it gets a little tricky when we're skipping a place value. And I'll give you a hint. In this situation, we did skip a place value. So we're going to use our trick to make it easier to make sure we convert this into the correct base 10 numerals. So we are going to add up all of our pieces of our expanded form vertically, and that's going to help us do it. So 60,000, I can leave that right there, make it easier for myself. I'm going to take my 300, add it below. Now when I'm adding them, here's our major key. Pay attention. It needs to be lined up based on place values. So my ones should all line up in a straight line. If not, it's going to throw off my answer and give me the wrong information as my final answer. So I line it up based on the ones place. So I have 300 plus 40 plus 2. Now, to get my base 10 numerals, I add this all together. 0, 0, 0, 2. 0, 0, 4, 0, 3. 0 just comes straight down because there's nothing else to add it to. That's our major key. Because this 0 is often what tricks us up on our place value and our expanded form. So I bring down my 0, I bring down my 6, and I bring down my comma. If I follow all those steps, then I should get the correct base 10 numerals to match the expanded form they've given me. Hopefully this helps you in your studying for your test on Friday. I wish you all the best of luck. Keep watching. There will be more videos to help you practice some of the other things you'll see on the test. And as always, if you have any questions, ask your math teacher. Have a good afternoon. Bye, guys.